Yo, what's going on, people? Good to be back again. If you were here yesterday, you saw mine and Ish's runs of DMC3 and DMC4 respectively. We're back with DMC1. As DMC3 is technically the first game in the series, and then 4 is just, well, 4. We thought we'd kick it old school and come back with the first one. I'm here with my brother, Big D Cosmic. You want to say hello?
Yo, what up? I was just here. Hello again.
Cosmic's probably going to take a lot of the commentary on this. If you've seen games like this before, you know it is non-stop from start to finish. Luckily, we get a little bit more of a downtime on this game, so there's going to be some good opportunities to shoot some stuff going on around there. But the timer will start as soon as I hit normal. Like we say, we're doing any percent normal. So if we're ready, I'll do a quick countdown, and then we're going to jump straight into it. So we're ready in 3, 2, 1. Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Good luck.
Yeah, so this game opens with Dante being tasked by a mysterious woman to go to Malay Island and fight some demons. Dante is a demon hunter by trade. He's trying to find whoever murdered his parents that were demons. He figures he'll hit the jackpot sooner or later if he just hunts them to the ends of the earth. So he cannot resist going to Malay Island here. The first mission here, there's going to be a trick immediately off the bat here from Spence, where there's a horse that has like a cache of 50 orbs or so. And he's just going to jump right up on the lance here. Look, man, you can't make a liar out of me, but you got this second try.
I'm trying, my brother. I'm trying.
So, actually, yeah, 100 orbs. And then we're going to use 45 of those orbs in order to unlock the store immediately. Otherwise, we'd have to like go around the entire room and collect little bits of orbs here and there. But using that platforming, we can just skip right to the door and then head right on up here. And we're going to get our first glimpse of how the game sort of gates your progression, which is finding these keys. And then you'll have keys. We'll have some tablets. We'll have other stuff that kind of gates us. Similar to the Resident Evil series, which this game shares a lot of DNA with. I almost said it shares a lot of DMC with, but that's not accurate. And we're going to go and head to another room here, which is where the rusty key will unlock. Dan's going to do a little bit of side rolling there because it saves a few frames here and there, just as opposed to jump walking or walking through here. He's also going to grab that extra orb cache there on the plane. This is going to set him up a little bit nicely for S-ranking the mission. So ranks in this game are determined by 3 parameters primarily, which is the amount of damage you take, the amount of orbs you gather, and the amount of... the amount of orbs you get, the amount of damage you take, and the amount of time. I'm sorry, I totally blanked there. And the amount of time it takes. So naturally, the time requirement, we're going to blow past that pretty much since we're going to be skipping a lot of stuff, especially because cutscenes actually tie into the IGT. So if you're watching cutscenes, your in-game time is going to naturally be longer. But the orb count is really going to be the big thing, the orb count and the damage count that we're going to have. So these first like 5 missions or so, it's very important that we get some high ranks on. Mission 1 is going to be kind of setting the tone of it, because that's mission 1 and 2 especially, because that's going to determine sort of how the orb route is going to go. A lot of the way that this game is routed and ran, both in PB attempts and in marathons, is all about economy. You constantly just basically have to judge how far ahead or on track you are for your orb count. Dan making really, really good work of this room here. Oh, there we go. Nice. Excellent.
I was about to say, don't make a liar out of me now, dude.
And that should be an S rank there. Yeah, so over 200 orbs and a really good time on the IGT there means we're going to get the full 800 from the S rank. Now, in this next mission, we're going to go and grab the sword Elastor. This is one of 2 main weapons that we're going to have throughout the game. Elastor is this lightning sword that is actually going to grant us access to Devil Trigger, which we'll see a little bit later. But for right now, it's just going to go on our back, and we're going to go ahead and grab the next key here. Are you doing the shotgun strats or no?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet, awesome. So next here, we're going to head through the rooms, and we're going to do a little bit of cool like wall height platforming on the side here. Dan's going to get a little bit of extra devil trigger from these guys because he's going to use it on the scissors in the next room. It was kind of bad spawns for him to not get any enemies in the room prior to that, but it'll work out, I promise. And we're going to grab this little staff here, Staff of Judgment, that we're going to use to unlock a door to end the mission. But prior to that, Dan's going to be fighting the Sin Scissors. And the Sin Scissors are an enemy that is a little erratic because they can just go out of bounds straight up. So you really just have to make sure that you are moving in a way that... Oh, geez, nice. Oh, what a beautiful room. Oh, that was beautiful. Immediately, just 3 hits. So if you jump off of these guys and you use the Helmbreaker and then use that slam down attack with the Elastor, also called Helmbreaker, you can just one-shot them. And they're all just gone. So now he's gone through the whole mission with no damage being taken. So it's going to guarantee that he gets the S rank. And that's going to set up the start of this orb route beautifully. And he's going to grab Stinger level 2. This is going to be one of the main movement tools that we use throughout. This is the famous DA. So if you've got your DAs and you want to get them out in chat or in the donations, then feel free to just DA it up. D-A-H. Duh. And we're going to use that because, as you can see, this is much faster than walking or jumping everywhere. Or rolling as well. We're going to go across the bridge here, activate that thing, and then boom. Dan did a little jump there as well because that actually skips an animation of Dante like recoiling after being hit by lightning, which, you know, in fairness, I would react the same way. And here he's going to use the shotgun. He's going to jump in between 2 skulls and just do a little jump shot in order to take out 2 of them at once. It's a pretty neat strat. One of the more recent ones. I think it was borrowed from like the 100% category as well. And then kind of made its way over here as shotgun became more popular in the any percent category, because we used to not use the shotgun at all in this category. But little optimizations here and there, people experimenting and innovating, pretty cool. So now Phantom here. All right, awesome RNG. Again, we're jumping right off of Phantom's body and getting a critical strike with the Helmbreaker, 4 of them in a row. What a scientist, man. And boom, done. That boss is just down. If you played this, the first time most people played this game casually, I think myself included, that was like a huge wall. So
Yeah.
when I found out how to fight this thing in the speedrun, I was like, oh man, that is beautiful. And it is also actually one of the glass ceilings to learning this run. It's typically where some people struggle. There are some alternate strategies to make it easier, kind of a different orb route that you can adopt, but that is the optimal way to fight him. By Phantom. He just doesn't follow us. It's great. And then here we're going to put the Pride of Lion, which is that little tablet that we picked up. We're going to move over here, and then we're going to stand at a distance from this cat. And we're going to immediately get the optimal attack. So what Dan did there to make the shotgun shoot so fast was he wiggled around a little bit, and you can actually make the recoil of the animation of the shotgun much shorter that way, which allows you to fire faster, and you get critical strikes when the cat is in that attack on it if you just stand on the spike and shoot at it. So that's why he was able to down it so quickly. Also, fun fact, if you just try and shoot at it regularly when it's not in that attack, it'll have like random health. So sometimes it'll just go down immediately into like an orb form that you can then strike. Other times it will just have tons and tons of health, and you will not defeat it in any reasonable amount of time. Now we picked up the Melancholy Soul, another key item, and we're going to jump down to fighting Nello Angelo. He's going to be using... Ooh, okay. Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, the game's lagging slightly.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Oh no, and he ate the holy water. That's fine.
Okay, low percent it is.
Yeah, low percent strats. Here we go. So what Dan's doing here to Nello Angelo is known as slash canceling. This is a huge boon of some enemies that were designed to only be hit like by like 1 or 2 combos over and over again, but you can actually completely reset Dante's recovery animation by twirling the left analog stick in after 1 or 2 slashes of like the 3-hit melee combos. And that allows you to just loop certain bosses. If you stand behind Nello Angelo, you can get like 15 strikes or something ridiculous like that before he resets himself. Normally we would just use a holy water on him there, but that's fine. Kind of the same strat gonna happen here for this cat. And then we're just gonna kind of jump up here. Oh, nice use of the shotgun there to delay his time in the air so the cat was not able to munch on him. And now, as long as we get through these next couple of rooms, we'll have a pretty good start to the run. So that fight against Nello, we did take a hit, but that mission in particular is not, it's not super important to take little damage there. I mean, we don't want to take too much, obviously, but nothing doing really. You can just kind of move on. And now we've got the special bonus here. The special bonus, by the way, is like a special requirement that you can get on missions by exceptionally clearing the requirements for the mission, which results in an extra 2,000 orbs. So now Dan has picked up some extra upgrades in order to, like, which this right here, Vortex level 2, again, quite fast. This is the fastest form of movement in the game. And now we get it super early with some innovations that happen to the any percent route. So if you've seen runs of this game prior to like maybe this current year, you would not see that ability until like much later in the game, but now it's acquired quite early. But I've been talking a lot. This is a little bit of a filler mission, so Sonic, if you got anything, take it away.
Yeah, so we got a few donations here. One of them is from Quackity Quackity Yab Dab Doo with a $5 donation saying, what's up, Doc? And then we got another $5 donation from Lola that says, you think this is a game, Bugs? And then we got a $5.01 donation from Bugs that just says Bugs. And with that, we currently have Bugs with the lead at $21.01, with Lola just behind by, you know, about a dollar and a penny. So yeah, keep getting those donations in and we'll send it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And now they've gone through there, this is sort of a little bit of another filler mission, but it's also, it would be nice to get an S rank on here, but not totally necessary. Phantom, we're just going to run away from him again. And then we're going to head down to fighting these Sin Scissors again. And we're just going to be using the shotgun on these guys, because they didn't protect their neck. Aw, the cutscene interrupted you picking up the orbs. What a jerk. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to head to the middle of this room. Dan's going to use the Vortex ability to actually activate that light wheel there. Pretty great movement there. And then going to head over here. This is a pretty short mission. I think we actually made it out of here without taking a hit. So that's going to be an extra S rank in the bag. It's going to be a little bit extra orbs, which is pretty nice. And now we're going to head into the final fight against Phantom. We're going to be doing something similar to what we did in the first fight. But Dan's going to have a specific setup that he does where he'll line himself up with the wall and then be able to take it away from there. Yep, nice. A little bit of a stun there. Good. Beautiful second jump. And down. Oh, man. Y'all make that look so easy, and I'm jealous every time.
What do you mean? Like, let's be frank here. That Cosmic was one of the pioneers of this game before people like myself even got a look in. Like, so
Wow,
half of
I've
this
never
stuff
been
we
good at
would
that fight,
never
man.
have been possible without Cosmic's, you know, initial routing or anything like that. So You gotta
Yeah,
give
I mean
yourself some props as well, my dude.
Hey man, I was there to make the first video tutorial, and I made like one trick that's now named after me. I definitely I definitely had my heyday, but I was never good at that fight, man. Y'all make it look so easy now. Uh, we used to just back in my day, we used to just use air hike and jump all over that guy, and it was like, well, if you crit him, then that's cool. But now there's setups and everything that are just, this game has come like such a long way in a couple of years. It's pretty awesome. I remember a time when like sub 40 IGT was like top of the top, and now people are like 5 minutes faster than that, and it's like whoo. All right, so we're gonna vortex through here. We're gonna do actually now it's kind of early gauntlets, but not really anymore, because we don't really need any extra abilities for this. This is actually like a strat from low percent that made its way over to any percent, since we don't buy air hike anymore. We're just gonna jump off of this little platform here, and you could just make your way right up to the gauntlets. So if that platforming was giving you trouble in your casual playthrough, there you go. Just jump off of that, and you're good to go. Also, we're gonna skip this boss fight by just punching this door or kicking this door and lighting it, and then you can just walk through. That's like one of the few skips in this game, and I think we forget to talk about it, because it's like, I wonder if that's an oversight, or if it's just like totally, they were just like, yeah, you know what would be really funny if somebody realized you could just punch this door and walk away from Griffin.
Guessing maybe it's like a new game plus thing, because on a new game plus, obviously you keep all of your equipment.
Yeah. All right, very nice setup there to get the holy water. Again, items very important in this game, holy water especially. The forest there has like some very intricate ways to actually deal with it, depending on where the like how you line up your shots with the grenade gun and everything. The grenade gun, by the way, which we picked up on the last mission, easily like one of the best, like most powerful guns relative to the game that it's in the series. This gun does a ton of damage, and you can completely negate the recovery period of it pretty much by rolling or jumping, really. And you can just deal out tons of damage while also building tons of devil trigger, especially the more that like the higher your style rank is in a combo, the more devil trigger that thing will build, and it's incredible. Yeah, it's a really powerful weapon. Here we're going to actually use it in the forest to group up those enemies and get the light to go over to this right side of the forest, because we just got to follow the light here. This light has messed up many a runner's attempts, let me tell you. There's been definitely some bad news bears times where people walk out one of these doors, and then all of a sudden they're walking back to the entrance of the forest, and it's like, huh, how about that? But not today. Today we're just going to use the holy water on those guys. We're going to grab a little bit extra orbs at that obelisk there, and we're just going to head on out the door. Then we're going to go ahead and use Spencer's going to go ahead and use a holy water, and that will take out both the enemies in this room. They're little like phantom babies, essentially. Well, not really babies, but they are phantom shoot-off, like spin-offs, essentially. Phantom offshoots, phantom offspring. And nice. Some good A rank there. Sitting pretty on the orb economy here. Run's going pretty well. This mission is exceptionally... commentator's curse, man. This mission is exceptionally precarious when it comes to taking no hits. Because these lizards that are here can really just tag you. But we got the backup strats. What is this camera angle? That guy had you in the bounce pads. He was like, yo, Dante, welcome to the jungle gym.
No, we're going on the bounce house right now, bro.
All right. And now we're on to the second fight against Nello Angelo. And this is going to go a little differently than the first time. Whereas the first time we would have ideally wanted to use 1 holy water. Here we're going to use 2. So Spence is going to use a little like 3-hit combo there on Nello. He's going to try and slash us, but we've gained invul frames from the holy water. I also feel invulnerable after having some water, so I get it, Dante. And then we're going to go and grab this key item right here. Or rather put this key item down on this statue that will then open up the doorway to the next mission.
We all like underwater sections, right?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. I mean, the ones in this game are pretty short, at least, you know. If there was like a huge 3-minute underwater section, I'd feel pretty put out by that. But these aren't too bad. We're gonna go to the ghost ship here, and we're going to grab. I think we grabbed the untouchable here, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm remembering this correctly. Excellent. So we're gonna grab the untouchable there. We're gonna use that a little bit later. We're gonna avoid these guys, and we're gonna pick up the needle gun, as well as we pick up the Devil Star here. Yeah, we picked up the Devil Star.
Yeah.
And we're gonna move on. So that needle gun actually allows us to attack underwater. Shout outs to my boy Loner Hero for forgetting to pick that up one time, and then when I told him he forgot it. He didn't believe me. So the next mission, he he was a little flabbergasted. So now Griffin here. We're gonna wait here for Griffin to get in position. Do a combo here. He's going to knock us into the air, but it's kind of whatever. We're just going to use a holy water on him. There is a rather precise, like this strat is rather precise to not get hit in the air, but as you can see here, you can salvage it pretty easily. And then just use the holy water anyway after the kite knocks you up into the air from Griffin. And Griffin, that was the second fight against him. Well, technically it's the first in the run because we ran away from him this first time. At this point in the game, from missions 9 through 16, is when we enter sort of like the second act of the game, and you'll notice that Spence is actually getting more rewards or better rewards for S ranking missions. So you can kind of split the game into 3 acts of missions 1 through 8, 9 through 16, and then 17 through 23. Where the S ranks in the early game are important, but they also only give you 800 orbs, whereas at this point in the game they give you 1600, and that is exceptionally important for how much like consumable routing that we do later on. So while you can salvage a lot of runs, it is very important to S rank like these middle and end game missions, just because of the plethora of orbs that it gives you later on in the game. Gonna grab another holy water there, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the Slickford special. Oh, what the heck is going on with these guys? All right, nice.
There we go.
So again, you saw Dan there roll canceling the grenade launcher, and he basically built like a full Devil Trigger bar in like 10 seconds or so. Grenade gun is nothing to joke about. While we do a little bit of platforming here, because this mission is a little bit of a filler bit, we're going to do like a little bit of vortexing as well. Sonic, take it away.
All right, so as we all know, we are raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We do have some really cool prizes on board as well, such as the Devil May Cry figures featuring Dante and Trish. And they are vintage figures from Devil May Cry 1, manufactured by Toy-Com, which was released in May of 2003, which is a $10 donation. We also have a Chester Bennington painting as well, which is a one-of-a-kind painting of Chester Bennington by fine artist and tattoo artist Beck Beware. They created this piece specifically for this event, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity. This is also a $10 donation. We also got a Pokemon card bundle. So it is a bundle of the Pokemon TCG Silver Tempest Elite Trainer Box and a graded PSA 10 Japanese Glaceon EX Special Art Rare from Terrastol Festival, which is a $15 donation. And this is probably my personal favorite because, you know, obviously I am a Sonic speedrunner. The Sonic the Hedgehog Squishmallow, which is a 14-inch Squishmallow of Sonic the Hedgehog holding his beloved ring, which is a $10 donation for that. And of course, we got the grand prize, which is the Switch 2 bundle, and it includes a digital copy of Mario Kart World and a physical copy of Pokemon Legends ZA for the Switch 2. And this was provided by the lovely staff and owners of Video Game Trading Post in Pensacola, Florida, which is a $100 donation across the entire event. So all those donations will go towards those amazing prizes. And yeah, back to you, Cosmic.
Awesome. So, and again, by the way, just want to piggyback off that. Those figures are very cool. And,
I really want them figures. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're dope.
Can I just have them? Is
They're
that okay?
dope, dude. So now we're using the Untouchable here. The Untouchable actually gives us like unlimited Devil Trigger, and we can use it to just vortex really fast through this room. And if we exit the room that we've used the Untouchable in, by the way, it made us invincible. Cut title drop. So when we exit a room where we've used the Untouchable, it will give us full Devil Trigger, and then when we exit the room, it will retain that full Devil Trigger that we had for until we actually spend it. So that actually helps us a lot with DT management on this mission, because we're going to use it for fighting Griffin here for the final time. We're going to use the electric grenade gun here. If Griffin wants to not be a jerk, there we go.
Oh, I could really go for some KFC after this. I don't know about you, Cosmic. Or some KFG, some Kentucky Fried Griffin.
Griffin, true. So either that or I don't know, man. Some Popeyes sounds pretty good. After
You know, I've never had Popeyes. They brought them to the UK. Not had it yet.
I think you know what you need to remedy this weekend then. All right, so getting into near the third act of the game here. I guess we'll grab the blue orb. Can't hurt. A little bit of extra life from the blue orb there, so it's going to give Spence a little bit extra safety on the final fight, or the final boss fight particularly, which is pretty nice. Then we're going to vortex to the end of the room here. Get a little bit of DT management back here. Little things like that Spence just did, where he was able to vortex pretty cleanly to the end of the room and then get off like an immediate 2 shots of the grenade gun to refill his Devil Trigger. If you belabor those points, like, you can add up some time loss pretty easily. So him being able to just like fire off those 2 shots and then get immediately to the end of the room is like one of the a sign of somebody that's run this game quite a lot. So very well done there. And now we're going to activate this wheel here. And we're going to hit this guy with a good old Tekken juggle. With the grenade gun. And we're on our way to Nightmare. Now, Nightmare is an interesting boss because its health bar from the orbs on its back and on top of its head, they carry over between missions, and they're 2 separate health bars essentially. And the more that they're damaged, the more damage resistance that Nightmare has. And this is done through hits, not necessarily through the damage taken. So you have to deal as much damage as you can in as little damage as possible. So Spencer's going to go ahead and switch to Ifrit here, which is those gauntlets that we got earlier. Fire gauntlets.
Oh, this game is lagging so much.
Oh boy. So he's going to deal 5 hits here, but did not want to risk possibly missing the holy water there. So we're just going to go ahead and reactivate the light wheel here to get Nightmare to reset here. We're just going to have to wait again here a little bit. All right, there we go. We're just going to use the back core.
Oh my god.
Okay, game. Sweet. Love that. All right. So, moving on here. Now that Nightmare is down, we're going to wait for the Devil Trigger to refill so that we can actually just vortex right across the bridge here. And boom. So now we're going to use... It should be good still.
Yeah.
Because you'll still get the S rank on 19.
Yeah, I didn't get one of the red orb caches on that last mission in the ceiling.
Yeah. You have you have like 4 of the big ones on that bridge still, so you should be all right.
Yeah.
Because the second one from that bridge did not like attract to you when you jump through the door for whatever reason. All right, so we're gonna use 2 holy waters here on the frosts. One of the older strats actually was to use Ifrit against them because Ifrit deals a lot of damage to, I guess it makes sense that the fire gauntlets deal a lot of damage to the ice monsters, but not faster than water, which, I mean, figure that one out, I guess.
Physics, man. That's all we got, it's physics.
Physics and divinity.
Got sun on it.
So now we're going to fight this dragon. It's a T-Rex, but we're just going to call it a dragon. By reflecting some fireballs back at it using our sword. One of the riskier strats to go for in this game, although it is faster, is to stand like nearly point blank in front of this dragon and do an uppercut in order to hit the fireball back at it, but it is quite a precarious camera angle, so I do not blame Spence at all for not going for it. I hesitate to go for it myself, too.
I don't think I've ever gone for it, got it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's pretty tough. Because you got to be on the money with it. Alright, so now we've activated the Quicksilver here. We're going to go ahead across the room to grab it. Funny enough, on the hardest difficulty in this game, Dante Must Die, there's a glitch in the Japanese version where on this mission you can just run to the door that leads to the boss without having to grab the Quicksilver at all, and it'll just let you in. This is not I think this is also present in the HD collection version, but it was primarily present in the Japanese version on PS2. Alright, so now we're going to take out the Super Soaker. Nello Angelo's going to feel a little watered down now. He's going to be like, oh no, I'm too hydrated. And then he's done. And then we got to be on that for a bottle of water. And we're going to now get access to Sparta, which is the sword of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, our father. It is the sword that sealed away the Demon King, and it's actually pretty weak, so we're just going to switch back over to the last store and then just forget about it until like 6 missions later.
But it looks so cool. It's a shame.
It does.
Useless.
Yeah, you can't use Devil Trigger with it at all.
The only the only benefit you have is that it does Devil Trigger damage without being in Devil Trigger. Yep. But then you can't run fast, you can't fly, you can't do all this other cool shit. So we're just going to stick that in the back pocket.
Yep. We'll just put a pin in it. Like, all right, well, back to the lightning sword.
Yeah, we'll come back to you in 5 games, and then you'll be relevant.
Then you'll be really strong. All right, so now we're going to head through this last little underwater section here. And we're going to grab an egg for this trying time.
Nah, you beat me to it, dude.
No, I'm at. So, what, the Danny DeVito thing? May I offer you an egg in this trying time?
I was gonna say, can I offer you one, but you beat me to it, bro.
Oh, okay. And then we're going to be fighting Nightmare again. This second Nightmare fight, a little different. Especially because we're going to have to... Yeah, because we got Devil Trigger, like, fully here. So now he's going to be jumping right on top here.
Oh my god, get on them, please.
Oh, goodness. Camera really just not being super nice to you there. Gotta say. But now we got the ability to do this right here. Nice. Alright, awesome. Gonna activate the wheels here in a little bit.
Oh, I'm
Unfortunate
still
ice beam there. Yeah, this is a thing with Nightmare, is that, like, when it gets you in one of those attacks, like, especially with how precarious jumping onto his back tends to be, it is not fun having to salvage, like, being stun locked by him. Great management of the orbs there, though. Should be good to go for the final fight.
Yeah, that, like Cosmic was saying before, because that first fight didn't go perfectly, you're having to kind of like sort out what you want to do 10 missions down the line, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes.
because I'm not fighting Nightmare 2 in my head, I'm fighting Nightmare 3.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, so we're now going to jump through this window after we grab these little bit of orbs here, because we want to guarantee the S rank for this mission.
I might special it.
Say again?
I might do a special just to get that economy back.
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be solid. We're in sort of a copy, like an underworld copy version of the first Nello Angelo fight, but everything is in this mirror world, as you can see. So normally we would use a holy water here, but as Dan said, he's going to try and go for the special bonus. So he's going to just use the grenade gun to take out all the enemies here. So he's going to stick away from them and just take no damage, but also deal, like, you know, get rid of all their health and just take them all out pretty easily. And should be good to go. So he's going to also grab the little bit of orbs here. So he's going to actually lose a little bit of time here because of this, but the time that he'll save later on is more than going to make up for it. This is another, you know, one of those things where knowledge of the game is super important to doing the strats, because this is, you know, a strat that Dan has come to understand over experience and understanding, you know, how the ranking system of the game works, how the economy works in the game. So this game really rewards you understanding the underlying mechanics to why you are routing the way that you are, and not just simply understanding, you know, the optimal routing. It is a very fun part, honestly, of running this game in marathons, is like, you almost don't want, I mean, speak of the devil, you almost don't want things to go too perfectly, because you can't show the adaptability that way.
Oh, you are.
Unfortunately, we did not account for the Sargassos, because that one platform decided to do Dan dirty. And did not let him grip it. But the game is kind enough to put us on the other end of the bridge. Can you imagine if it put you right at the back at the beginning? I'd be like, oh,
I'd be all right. I'd had Devil Trigger at that point. The only reason I was trying to platform it is because I didn't have any.
Yeah.
So that would have been the backup for the backup. But yeah, this game, it eats your soul.
Well, at least did get the S rank, so there is that. So now we're going to head into the final fight against Nightmare. The showdown with Nightmare. We're gonna immediately activate the light wheel here. Switch to Ifrit. And then get right on to the back, right to the back here. And he's gonna be charging up the punches for Ifrit to do a lot of damage immediately. This should take him to the next phase. Nice. Very good. Now, if these little worms were not in his way, it'd be good. But now we should be able to use just a holy water and head, because both of those sounds overlap at the same time.
Yeah, I should have really put a warning there. Sorry about that.
It just occurred to me as it was happening. So
Yeah.
Apologies for that one, because it does get a little bit loud there. It is not that is not an auditory thing that's supposed to happen in this game typically, because both of those chords are supposed to break independently of each other. But that is there's two sound effects overlapping, so it gets quite loud. All right, so now we're going to be getting through the living cave here. We're going to be doing a bunch of vortexing, taking out some nobodies, and just collecting some orbs while trying to get ready for the final stretch of the game. So, one last time. Sonic, take it away.
All right, so we are raising money for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which was established in 1987. It is a voluntary health organization that gives those affected by suicide a nationwide community empowered by research, education, and advocacy to take action against this leading cause of death. They are dedicated for saving lives and bringing hope to those affected by suicide, including those who have experienced a loss. They are funding research for AFSP. They invest in scientific research to advance the understanding and prevention of suicide. And they also have some public education in which the organization educates the public and professionals about mental health, risk factors, and warnings signs of suicide. Signature programs include Talk Saves Lives and More Than Sad for teens and educators. And they also have support for loss survivors, in which they provide resources and programs for those who have lost a loved one to suicide, including Healing Conversations, a program that connects loss survivors with trained peer volunteers. So definitely get those donations in. We do still have this, the bid war going on for the character choice in Space Jam, which is coming up after this run. So we don't have much time left, but at the time, like for the moment right now, we have Bugs Bunny in the lead with $21.01, and Lola is right behind with just $20. So if you want to get Lola in the game, definitely get those donations in. It's going towards a great cause. So yeah, that's all we got for here. So back to you.
All right. So, that was the Cosmo climb that Dan attempted to do. Unfortunately, sometimes the bats in this room can be quite uncooperative with their movement. So the idea is that you'll stand underneath one of them and then use the vortex ability to head to the top of the room, just by maintaining that momentum. But at times they're just uncooperative, and they just mess up your targeting entirely. So we have to take the backup strat here and do the platforming. That is the trick that is named after me. It's called the Cosmo Climb. I didn't name it, somebody else did. And at first I was like, Cosmo, man, come on. But I just rolled with it eventually. So now we're heading into the final boss fight against Mundus. And Mundus is going to manifest as a huge statue. Now, the way that we're going to defeat Mundus is through the power of pressing the L1 button and doing some menuing. It takes 21 runes of Devil Trigger, which are now those red runes underneath Dante's health bar. And so what Dan is going to be doing is using 2 Devil Stars in order to refill to 7. And we're going to do this, another time. And then the first phase of Mundus will be down. So start, down, down, X, and then L1. And now we've beaten Mundus. Try this at home. It works, guaranteed. And now we're going to take a jump in the drink, right into the lava. And we're just going to start doing some uppercuts to Mundus in order to deplete a lot of his health bar. Spence will be using another Devil Trigger here. Again, this is where that like blue orb that we picked up earlier came in handy. A little bit extra life. And now, is it time? Oh no, it's not time.
Oh,
Okay. No, I was gonna say I didn't know if you were gonna watch the cutscene or not. It's cool. Just know that like all of the budget in this game went into Dante's quivering lip in that cutscene. And then we're gonna be heading into the final mission now, where we
I feel
are.
like I've let everyone down now.
Oh no, you're good. And now we just gotta hit these guys with some grenade shots and use a holy water, because we're basically just coasting until the end here. This is one of those like typical Capcom final missions from the era where the time that you have to complete the mission is far and away more time than you actually need. But I appreciate the gesture regardless. So now, we're going to jump on up here. Mother's Guide. There's actually a glitch in this room where if you jump into those suits of armor, it will just, like, transport you to the room at the end, like the door at the end of the room. It's quite funny. It has no application whatsoever, but it is funny. And we're going to use the Devil Star here to actually be able to... Because Mundus is going to show up another time, like one last time, but he's going to look like he just, like, had 50 cans of SpaghettiOs dumped on his head. And we're going to use Vortex in order to destroy him. And there we go.
It looks like we have a winner.
Jackpot.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Take that, Chef.
You gotta do one or the other, Andy. You gotta do one or the other.
It's true, yeah, one or the other. At least gotta do one. And now, hey Trish, let's escape in this biplane that just crashed through the ceiling. Okay. And you can actually hold down the right analog stick here in order to make the biplane actually move faster, which is not something I think we discovered until the last couple of years. And I don't remember what inspired me to try this. I think it was me that actually found this, but yeah. Okay, time's coming up.
Time.
Nice.
Not bad for a game I haven't touched in a year.
Okay, great. Where's the place?
Very cool.
Oh yeah, he renames his shop for 5 minutes.
The password. Sounds heavy.
Okay, let's get it over with.
Say again?
Can't let a single one of them suck.
Dante renames his shop for all the 5 minutes.
Yeah. Until the anime.
just
and then
because.
It's back. Yeah, it's back to Devil May Cry after that.
The backlash
Yeah.
was astounding. So yeah, that was a 4101 IGT. Load remover says a 4137.
Nice.
Real time 4137 supposedly, but you guys can tell me otherwise. And once upon a time, that would be world record. We're talking a few years back, mind, but I think what was Max's for so long, like 43.
In terms of RTA, I think it was 43. Yeah. And then like IGT was like a 3916 for a little bit, and then Yami had it like 3818.
And
Yeah,
then
that
people
is,
just was really bored over lockdown, apparently. Wanted to start playing a 20-year-old game.
True.
And completely tear the fucking thing apart. And we
That
got
was
people
Devil May
looking
Cry,
through.
100% though. Yeah.
It's always a
So,
pleasure to show this one off.
Yeah, absolutely. Where can people find you, Spence?
They can find me at SpenceSpeedruns on Twitch and YouTube, and on X, but whatever. Does anyone really use Twitter anymore? Yeah, so yeah, Twitch and YouTube. All my highlights are obviously on YouTube. I do challenge runs now and again. Not to be that guy, I was the first one to beat Devil May Cry 1 on Dante Must Die without buying anything. That's probably my
Hey.
biggest achievement with this one. So, yeah, and none of that would be possible without the main man himself, the Cosmic to my right. So, where can they find you, bro?
Well, I think some things were possible without me. A lot of things, but I did again make the tutorial for this game, the first video tutorial, which was later revised, and there were a lot more like advanced and current strategies done in a tutorial by Out with a Yang. So if you are interested in learning this game at all, you can find those on our respective YouTube channels, or they're both linked on the speedrun.com leaderboards. We are always happy to help people get into this game. There's always at least a handful of people running this game at any time. So if you like what you saw, definitely check it out. It is a pretty approachable run overall, even despite some of the intricacies that we've talked about. There's always somebody there to help you and walk you through, and there's a lot of resources for it, so that's pretty dope. Once again, my name has been, is, and will continue to be DE Cosmic, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/DE Cosmic and on YouTube at DE Cosmic Runs. And that is it for me. Thank you so much, Spence, for having me on for commentary. Appreciate it.
Always and every single time, brother. And like Cosmic says, there's a great community for this out there, not just for DMC1, for DMC1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're always around in the Discord. If you've played this game to death and you kind of want a bit more of a challenge, I also have a all collectibles speedrun tutorial, which is where we collect everything that can be collected and complete all the secret missions, get all the weapons. And to be fair, it's not that much longer than an any percent run, which is crazy to think about. And even on top of that, you've got the 100% route, which again is probably only another 10-15 minutes on top. So yeah, definitely check out the speedrun.com if you're interested, and join us in the Discord. We're always about.